Today at Meta's annual shareholders meeting, Zuckbucks answers some questions from stockholders about the Metaverse, where he confirms there are 4 product teams working on new VR devices, privacy in the Metaverse, and more.
Looking forward to the Metaverse, we're building the future of how we're going to be able to feel present together with the people who we want to be with, no matter where we are. This is going to be the next generation and chapter of the internet, and I'm really quite excited for this next chapter. The centerpiece of our Metaverse strategy is the social platform that we're starting to build with Horizon. It's still early, but as we build out the experience, we're focused on growing the community next. We're going to launch a web version of Horizon later this year that will make it easy for people to step into Metaverse experiences from a lot more different platforms. We're also focused on building a sustainable way for creators to make money and make a living building for these digital worlds. On the hardware side, Meta Quest 2 continues to be the leading virtual reality headset. Later this year, we'll release a higher-end headset codenamed Project Cambria, which will be more focused on work use cases and eventually replacing your laptop or your workstation. I just shared more details on Presence Platform, which we built to help developers build mixed reality experiences that blend physical and virtual worlds, starting on Quest 2 and eventually on Cambria as well. Privacy and safety need to get built into the Metaverse from the beginning. I want to be really clear here that making the Metaverse safe and secure is critical to its success. Open standards and interoperability are going to be really key here too. Nick Clegg, our president, Global Affairs, just published an essay that dives deep on all the things that we're doing to ensure that this is built responsibly, and I'd encourage you to check that out if you haven't already.
What stage are we building the Metaverse? If 10 is fully completed, what is the stage now out of 10?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Like I said, the Metaverse is going to be the next chapter of the internet. It's an embodied internet where instead of looking at a screen, you feel like you're really in it. You're present with other people and the scene that you're in, whether that's a game or a work experience or a fitness experience or whatever you're doing. I'd say that the development of the Metaverse is still quite early. We're seeing a number of the building blocks get put into place. You can already get a sense of a lot of the early progress and use cases that are going to be possible. I think the Quest devices are quite good, and just we keep on iterating on them and making them better every year. So I'm excited about that. But there's a long way to go there too. But I think you can sort of imagine an idealized version of the Metaverse, where there's a lot more different types of content, where the headsets are maybe smaller, where you can access this content across different platforms, where you have a whole digital economy that is somewhat more decentralized, but also really easy for people to buy all kinds of digital goods and for creators to make a living, creating all kinds of different things, whether that's digital clothing or digital goods or games or different digital experiences or digital architecture. So there's going to be this whole economy around that. And I do think it's going to take a long time to fully realize that. We're making a lot of these investments now to help build some of the foundational technology that we think needs to exist. And we're seeing some good success with a number of the products that we're putting out there. But the reality is that given the scale of the social apps part of what we do, the Metaverse business for us isn't really going to be a meaningful contributor to the business until at a minimum much later in this decade, and probably realistically this decade is going to be about setting the foundation for that, and then the 2030s are really where this is going to contribute a lot to the profits of the company. But we're at a scale as a company where we can invest in making these foundational investments. I think it's good. I think big and successful companies should be making substantial R&D investments to help push the world forward. So I'm proud of the role that we're playing here, and we're going to continue pushing on this.
Now we have another question about the Metaverse. This one is from Sean C. how do you envision monetizing the metaverse investments you are making? What type of ROI in 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years are you modeling?
The way that we're thinking about the business is first enabling a large digital and creator economy. It's everything from developers creating games to people designing digital clothing or digital architecture, different digital experiences. You can see an early version of this in our work today. We have the Quest store where people are buying content. It's off to quite a good start. The way that we're thinking about the business model here is, rather than selling hardware, as our main thing and selling that at a big profit, we want to make it so that these platforms are as accessible to as many people as possible. I mean, that's sort of core to our mission and ethos as a company, is trying to serve everyone. So we want to get the hardware to be as affordable as everyone, as possible for everyone, and then make it so that the digital economy grows, and then over time we think that we will participate in a piece of that, but also hopefully do this in a way that's creator friendly, so that way as many people as possible can make a living creating this kind of work, and that'll create a very robust ecosystem. So this is going to be a long path to have a positive ROI for a couple of reasons. I mean, one is just the plan that I just outlined. It's the most immediate way to make a profit would be to sell the devices at a big profit, which we're opting not to do in order to help grow the ecosystem as much as possible. So it's a little bit of a longer game to help build out the digital economy there, but we think that'll create more opportunity and be better over time. But the other reason why the ROI is going to take a while is just because we have quite a wide breadth of investments. So this is a large undertaking and large set of investments where we're working on in the VR category, for example, the consumer scale product like Quest 2, and then I also discussed how we're working on a product line, Project Cambria, which is a higher end work focused device, and then we're working on the next versions of each of those as well. So we have 4 product teams that are basically working on that, and then you can kind of think about similar types of investments on the augmented reality side, where we're working on multiple different product iterations there, and we think that each of these things are going to be very important to the overall ecosystem over time, and we're going to both, we think, advance the industry substantially, create a lot of value, and build a good position for ourselves. But realistically, I think we're going to be investing and losing a significant amount of money over the 3 to 5 year period, and then hopefully by the end of the decade, it'll kind of be clearer the picture for how we're going to have this be quite a positive ROI for the company. So that's how I'm thinking about this. It's an ambitious plan, but I'm optimistic about this, and I think this is going to be really important for defining the next chapter of technology.